There are a lot of aspects about GD that you can get into and have so much fun with. After beating the main levels, you can continue to grind stats or push your skill ceiling to reach harder and harder levels, or you can pivot and choose to create levels yourself. Over the course of the last 11 years, we've seen this side of the community grow and evolve into something that I don't think RobTop or anyone else would have ever predicted. But just how good have we gotten? Well, that's what we're gonna find out today. From 2013 to 2024, let's explore just how much we've changed in the creating scene. And spoiler warning, things get crazy so much quicker than you're probably thinking. Also, just a reminder to subscribe. I post videos like these every week and I live stream most of them, so you don't wanna miss out on that. Also, I have a Discord server with a bunch of my friends where you can hang out and chat. But anyway, let's get on to the video. We're gonna start with Demon Park, which is the best level, crazily, from 2013. This year, I'm gonna be so honest with you guys, this year was so early on. I think that this was the only year that RobTop was the best creator in the game. Every year after this, RobTop was no longer the best creator in the game. But this first year, if you look at like the main levels, they were just better. The most complex that decoration could get was quite literally like putting like triangles in different shapes inside of other shapes. Like you see these blocks that have the triangles inside of them. Like those kinds of, I'm practice moding this. Those kinds of things, that was like the most complex that design typically got in the first year of this game. The amount of like options that we had back then were so limited. Like there weren't any colors that you could use. Obviously we didn't have like a bunch of these like detailed objects that we could use for different designs. No triggers really. It was bad. But I'm not gonna lie to you guys, there's like a part of me that's like, this low-key seems like more fun. Cause like the game is so simple back then that like, you don't have to overthink all of the different things that go into creating. You literally just place blocks and have a good time. Which I don't know about you guys, but that sounds fun to me. It's less stressful, that's what it sounds like. I'm going to try to beat most of the levels here. There is one extreme demon, which I can't beat. But I will give it a solid attempt to beat most of the levels. What is my favorite level in Geometry Dash? When we get there, I'll talk about it. But spoiler warning, my favorite level in the game does not win the best level of that year. And it's so sad that I have to put it there. Who made the best level of each year's list? It was me and a bunch of different creators. I went and like pretty much interviewed a bunch of creators and told them to make their own list. And then I took all of our lists and kind of like put them together as like an average. No! Why did I jump? Why did I jump? Is this gonna be a video? Yes, sir. Yes, it is. You guys can say hi to YouTube in the on the stream. Is this gonna be your new hardest? Yo, chill, bro. I'm not that bad. Okay, last attempt. Lock in, guys. Lock in. Oh wait, do the spikes show me where I'm supposed to jump? Oh my god, they do. The spikes in the blocks are like depending on which way it's facing, that tells you where to jump. Oh my god, I just did the same thing again. Anyway, we are on to our second level, which again, the quality just goes up so fast here. And this is our the fuck? This is like one of the first introductions of art into GD, which obviously developed into so many more things that we'll discover like further down the line. What's my hardest? We don't want to talk about that. Guys, I can beat an 8-star, I promise. I'm not that bad. It just might take me a couple of attempts. Why am I actually like locking in? You guys got me scared of dying to this this level. How many of you guys in chat, by the way, were actually around during like the reign of Funny Game? Like I would say his reign of like being clearly the best probably ended around like 2.0. But even 2.0 was like like 8 years ago. It's so good. Like the vision of this is so good. Even now. If you guys weren't there, you just wouldn't get it. See, look, I told you I had it. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. That's that level, which wasn't his first really big breakthrough, but I mean, for the year, he easily took it. So we can move on to the next year, which you guys have been able to see the entire time at the bottom here. It's peak. So I don't know if you guys could tell, but we have it's been 3 years, and we have gone all the way from 1.0 to 1.9 in the first 3 years. Now, mind you, I originally wasn't even gonna pick this level because in this year, in 2015, 2.0 kind of stole it, but I think Death Moon is just too good to give it to a 2.0 level. Yo, we got any believers in chat? You think I can first try this? Yo, boys, I got this. Guys, come on. Guys, please. Guys. I'll be so honest. When Death Moon first came out, I was around. I was playing the game back then. And I thought the level was really, really cool. But I think as time has gone on, the community has found more and more appreciation for this level. Like, we only realized just how crazy this was once, like, time passed and no one surpassed this. Bro, you guys actually... But based on how I'm playing, you guys must think I'm such a bot. Oh my god. I thought we would just be chilling. I get to talk about the levels, like, while I'm playing them. Hell no, bro. I'm locked. I'm so locked in right now. Yup, okay. And then we're... Oh, I almost died there. Okay, and then we're gonna get the in-ship part, and then I should be good. Yeah, yeah. Yeah! Yeah! Okay, lock in, lock in. Don't die to the steps. Yeah! Come on, guys. Come on, guys. New harness is crazy. That's crazy. I think it's very obvious to see how far this level has risen above the previous years. Obviously, we have Funny Game once again, proving why he's like insane at this game. This is a point though where most people, when it comes to creation, are just doing like regular design. If you guys, here, I can go over to like a Viper level to kind of compare and contrast. Yeah, like this. This was the vibe. This was the 1.9 vibe for the most part. We definitely had artistic creators. We had sunset levels, but this was the norm, right? So to see someone come around and do something like Death Moon, it was unprecedented. In terms of the theming, in terms of the world building, in terms of the consistency with that world building, like it was ridiculous. This is also kind of a banger level, I'm not gonna lie. Like I said earlier, the year of 2015 was not just a year of 1.9 peak creation. It was also 2.0. So I wanted to pick this level at first, but I eventually moved over to Death Moon because it's such a classic level, but we are still gonna play it. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, and let me know if you guys agree or disagree, but I actually like Reanimation more than Death Moon. Do I think it's better than Death Moon? Like a better level quality-wise? Probably not. But personally, I like this level more. And I don't know if that's a shared sentiment, but that's how I feel. This level is just sick. Because it honestly, to me, it took that theming that Death Moon introduced into a much more like, I won't say action-packed, but just like intense experience. And one thing I will say too, about levels from this time period is that while we've definitely improved as a community, while we've definitely improved as a community, I will say the iconicness of levels, I know that's not quite a word, but you guys get what I'm saying, hasn't really been there in the last like maybe 4 or 5 years. We've definitely had levels that have, you know, that have absolutely blown up, but nothing that's like a fucking hood classic, you know? Like it doesn't really happen anymore. Oh my God, and I didn't even talk about the fact that boss fights being a thing in 2.0, which was also a funny game at the frontier of that with Sirius, with his boss fight in Sirius. Like things just changed so much in 2.0. And I don't know if like a lot of people recognize that, because like while you might know the features, if you weren't there during it, like yeah, it was just so many things that changed so quickly too. Anyway, we're gonna move on to the next year. We're on to 2016, which was the end of 2.0, with 2.1 coming around in January of 2017. I hope I don't die on this. It's the peak of 2.0. This level was a combination of a bunch of dedication from Galvatron, and oh my God, I almost died. And also kind of an example of how creators could go past what the game was like naturally capable of, right? This is 2.0, mind you, 2.0 level, mind you. And we're already seeing examples of 2.1 mechanics. Of 2.1 mechanics that haven't released yet. This is sad. I am not this bad, guys. I promise. It's because I'm trying to speak and play at the same time. But something that you'll notice about levels like this, effect levels or art levels that existed back then, is that unlike now, a lot of what made up these effect levels were like compilations of a bunch of ideas that they had, and then kind of putting those all together into one level. You didn't really see like one core theme that was distributed throughout the entire level. It was a bunch of ideas, a bunch of concepts, gimmicks that were distributed throughout the entirety of the level. That looks horrible to play. Well, it is a 2.0 level, so. Okay. Go up. Okay, down. Yup. And then here. And then there. Yup. Okay. Okay, we're chilling. Up. Down. Up. Mid. Guys, it's so hard. That's so hard. What is wrong with him? That's so hard. Why? Guys, it's not a 7-star. There's no reality where that's a 7-star. Come on, guys. One thing I do want to talk about, by the way, which you can see in the first part and this part, here, I'll go back actually, is that a lot of effects were made using math, right? So back then, we didn't have all the different triggers that we do now, like rotates and such. So what people would do is that they'd make these effects using math, using move triggers. And if you could use the move triggers with the easings that we had with these specific equations, then it could create cool patterns like this, like the DNA strand that he has, or that 3D sphere made of circles that he had earlier. That was like a really big thing back then. There we go. Oh my God. That is a demon, guys. That is straight up a demon. There's no way. You guys are actually insane. We can just respect the quality of the decoration and move on with our day. But what is interesting here, as we do move on into 2017, I believe, this is a reintroduction of design, which we've so conveniently skipped out on for the past like 4 years. Because while design definitely has existed this entire time, it wasn't really like the peak of creation. Like it wasn't good enough to stand out amongst the other kind of styles that were happening around the time until 2017 and onward. It definitely makes some more appearances. So very, 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 very good level. And this starts to show two things. One, The rise of glow in levels. People, once they discovered glow design, absolutely loved it. For better or for worse. There were definitely some creators that kind of used it to their detriment, as in like the glow design style that was very generic. But also, people used it to their benefit, such as Nazgub here, as well as various other creators that would use it tastefully in a way to enhance their level instead of like a crutch to make it good, right? One thing that I would definitely say makes the top creators of this time period, and just in general, stand out from the rest of the community when it comes to like design creation, is an understanding of composition and balance when it comes to coloring, right? So a lot of people will just see this and go, oh, it's just good because of like the rainbow colors and the amount of glow that like enhances it to make it look better. But like, you know, at a more advanced level, you start to understand that like, no, there's a balance of like the usage of white and black, as well as the brightness values. Let me lock in. Let's go! Let's go! Oh my god. Bit Reaper, he has always been sort of a part of this group, like the Shoxidians, the Hinds, more recently like Ryder, that does this very unconventional kind of design that stands out so much, but in the best way possible. And I will once again say, I do not know how these guys, I don't know how these guys think, like at all. I've attempted this kind of design on multiple occasions and failed every single time, and I'm also lagging, so we're gonna watch a video. Yeah, these guys operate on an entire like different plane of existence, dude. Something that you'll notice about Vlak as opposed to like Shoxidian is that his usage of like hue isn't typically as varied as those other creators. He very much likes his like monochrome designs, which I respect heavily. But he doesn't use them in like boring ways. It doesn't feel like this is all just like one flat color that isn't doing anything, right? It still feels very vibrant, very lively. And he does that by rotating, not even just through the color wheel, but like through different emotions of color. You'll see he will stick with like cool colors or warm colors for an extended period of time and only go over to the opposite side of the spectrum or a different color scheme when the song suits it. It's very interesting, and definitely something that you guys could study quite a lot. I mean, all of us could study quite a lot. I will say this was also the time period of acid notation when he was taking stride in levels like Psychosis, in a lot of other levels that I'm for some reason forgetting right now. He was definitely a really huge artist during this time period. Banger level. I'm not gonna lie, this is still one of the most insane levels ever. Like I am in love with this level, and like you guys cannot convince me that this is not peak. But we can see this level as well as just Shoxidian, Hinds, and Vlak in general use what I was demonstrating earlier to like the 100th degree. Their understanding of coloring, composition, and balance are like so far beyond the majority of the creators, like 99.9% of the creators that exist in this game. It is insane. And what? Why broken? Why fix level? What? Oh, okay, never mind. I'm just bad, I guess. So these are the kinds of levels where I'm not gonna lie to you, if you take like a screenshot of one of these levels, a lot of the times you'll look at the colors and it won't make sense at first, but it's the idea that like color in this game is not a stagnant thing, right? It's a thing that's constantly in motion through pulses and color changes, right? So they use that to their advantage by using the fact that the colors will change constantly to make this experience that's unlike the majority of the creators in this game. So if you look at their levels in motion, it all just makes sense. And I'll be so honest with you guys. I've been playing this game for over 8 years. I would consider myself a fairly proficient creator. I do not understand this at all. This is something that is just above my pay grade. I do not understand how to make designs and colors that just work in this way. And I just have to give my applause to them because the way that they think when it comes to creating is just insane. No! No! Oh, I had it! I had it! So I will say, from here on out, levels don't really age. And I think this is like the point where we're starting to get a mastery over the editor. And the levels, the peak levels from 2020 and onward can still be considered the best levels right now. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I was asked earlier what my favorite level in the entire game is. And my answer to that is actually Ultraviolence, also by Zindergame. However, a crazy fact that I'm not sure most of you guys recall is that Dreamflower in Ultraviolence came out in the same year. As much as I do love Ultraviolence, I had to give it to Dreamflower because like it has to be, you know? This level though, it has a lot of history to it. Like this could not have happened without a lot of other things happening prior. So speaking of Ultraviolence, I'll kind of talk about that first. If we go down like Zinder's line of creation and how he came to this point, he is very much inspired by this like tech in modern era that was kind of at the forefront of that was Stubby Pinata, who made a ton of like boss fight levels and different kinds of levels back in the past. So Zindergame got very inspired by that, and at some point was just straight up considered a Stubby like copy because of how inspired he was by his work, right? And so through that, he got so much better at his ability to convey art and make world building and such, ending in Ultraviolence, right? Whereas Knots, on the other hand, was very much on the effect side of things, and grew his experience over like the mega collab meta that happened in like 2017, 2018, but also had some like really good things even prior to that. So both of these people, kind of from similar sides of the community, but definitely different sides, coming together to make something that was slightly out of both of their comfort zones, but just enough to where they could pair together to make something that was like above both of their individual skill ceilings, which I think is just like beautiful. It's not something that we see very often happen in the GD community, but this was just like, you know, the stars aligning in heaven. And we got a level that is debatably the best level still in this entire game. Obviously, we can make a lot of conversation about levels that happened after this, or even before this, that could be better levels of all time. But I think that this has a very, very strong argument for being the best level of all time, which is an insane thing to say considering this is 4 years ago. But look, full respect to these guys. Dreamflower by Knots and Zindergame, absolutely the best level of 2020. And there's really no debate to it. We have gotten to a point in 2.1 where the update has been out for like, what, 3 years at this point? And people have more or less discovered all of the major things that are featured in this update. Very, 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 very good level. I'll be so honest with you guys. I do not know how he made this level. I'm very certain that like if I took the time to, I could figure it out, but I do not know how he made this level. And that just goes to show just how far above the top creators are above like, you know, the average creators such as myself. Yeah, there are so many things about this level to be appreciated. Like, I mean, the art quality, of course, it's very stylized. It's very, it has a lot of art, direction to it, I should say. But alongside that, just the attention to detail, man. I think what really goes like unspoken in this level is the gameplay. Like, do you know how hard it would be to make gameplay that is backwards, but still like readable and fun? Couldn't be me. I can't even make good gameplay that's facing forwards, let alone fucking backwards. Like, hello? Yeah, the accurate GD physics. Oh god. Okay, wait, I have to lock in. We're still here. I love this part because of the way that the platforms move. It moves in a way that like, when playing it how we are now, it doesn't make sense in terms of physics, but if you play the level backwards, it makes perfect sense. And that like, that vision is crazy. It is insane to know that like, to be able to make it that way backwards is just, it's so cool. It's so cool. Like, this is such a good level. Oh, hi, Loco. Okay, we're gonna stop glazing him now so we don't boost the ego. This level's all right. It's so that is Deja Vu. The best level, in my opinion and a lot of other people's opinions, of 2021. A very good demonstration of using conceptual design and conceptual gameplay in a way to establish it across the entirety of a project, which obviously has been done a lot of times before, but this is kind of elevating that usage with concepts that like people just don't really care about. This level, again, is just perfect. When you look at the level of creation when it comes to design creating, there's not much more that you can ask from this level. It's for a lot of the same reasons that I was demonstrating earlier, but as years go by, the thing that you'll notice with design creating is that not many things happen to revolutionize how we look at design creating as a whole. Fundamentally, a level like this is not too dissimilar from like Darnock in 1.9, right? However, it's just taking that very consistent idea of design creating and elevating it to a degree that's like so high that like I don't know if like I don't know if I can name even 5 creators in the game that could make something this good. This level has perfect integration of both the transition between concepts, but also the concepts themselves. They pay perfect homage to old design concepts and like old design styles, while also elevating them and using them in like very clean and intentional ways. Like if we look back here, I'll go back real quick. If we look back at like this idea, like this floor and the different pillars that are like kind of floating around, we've seen that idea in many levels in the past, but the way that it's implemented in this level as like an intermission between these other concepts, it just works perfectly. Another thing that I will say about this level too is that I don't know why, but most design levels don't have like thematic consistency. They might have designs that are similar to each other, but this level will introduce a concept in a very like small way and then reintroduce it over and over in different interesting ways that work perfectly for the flow of the level and the pacing of the level. Yeah, absolutely. The flow of the gameplay, which is something that like I want to kind of highlight. Nazgub has never been a creator that like, you know, specifically did layout creating or anything, but what's happened in the background while all of these people have been focusing specifically on layout creating, like myself, like Ilrel, and a lot of other people in the game, these creators like Vlak, Nazgub, Heinz, they've been improving at their gameplay in the background. And most people don't really think about this. When you talk about, oh, who's the best layout creator in the game, you might say, oh, okay, Marwick or Ilrel or, you know, whoever it might be. But in reality, I think there's a lot more just creators, like design creators, or level creators that just don't get brought up in that are actually in that like top 10, top 5 list. But people don't really think about that because you just play the levels and have fun, which is very different from layout creators where it's like, oh, you might just watch it, or maybe you do play it and it's like, it might be fun, it might not be fun, you know, whatever. That is Apollo 11. One of, if not the best design level in the entire game. Guys, this is 2023. At this point, we are at a point in the game where the top creators, like any of the top 10, 20 creators in the game, they know pretty much all there is to know about the editor, right? So when it comes to concepts, guys, these are concepts that have layers to understanding them. What happens in this level, and we can get into it, hopefully I'm not lagging too much, but the things that happen in this level are so difficult to make that like I don't even know like the beginner step to understanding the next step to how to make a level like this. I don't get it. And it's it's so hard. It's so hard. But there are a lot of other things to also talk about in this level that we could also get into, such as, again, world building and art direction, right? So at this point, we have seen other art levels such as 24 that have established like art direction and creating a world are definitely a thing that we can do. But look, guys, like when it comes to art direction, there's no level at the time that even touches what this level explored. Any person in chat right now, take a guess as to how the effect right here is made. Take a guess, that red thing, take a guess at how that was made. Guys, genuinely, no clue. Witchcraft, honestly, that's the best answer. How about this one? How do you make that? Please, anyone explain. How do you make that? You see the background? Yeah, how? Those levels, the levels that came out in like late 2.1, I don't know why we don't talk about it more. I think we're just still kind of enamored by 2.2 being out and like discovering so many new things. But the level of like mastery that we started to accomplish by the end of 2.1 was just ridiculous. Like it was actually insane. And now we're at a point where we're discovering new things, we're reaching new heights and new peaks and whatever. Like people are starting to code things in the game, which like, all right, chill out, guys. But that was like an era of GD that we're never gonna get back. Like unless there's just a point where like an update just never comes out again, which I guess theoretically should happen eventually. We're not gonna have that again. Yeah, with that all being said, we are now in 2024, right? And obviously we're towards the end. It's, you know, it's pretty much November at this point. We're 10 months through. And there have been a lot of really, really, really good levels, but I'm not going to crown, you know, I'm not going to just definitively say, oh, hey, this level is the best when, you know, the year isn't even over and there's going to be other levels that come out this year. I See Stars. Ooh, I think that I See Stars is probably the pick. Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about this. Actually, do I need to? Does anyone have faith in the sight read? Be honest. I got this, guys. I got this, guys. Have some faith. Come on, come on, come on. Watch this, watch this, watch. Okay, okay. I got this, I got this. Okay, lock in. As long as there isn't like a robot part, I'm fine. Oh my god, there's a robot part. Come on. Okay, did we get through it? Okay. Okay. I actually do not know what's next, and I don't remember. Oh my God. Is that it? Did I beat it? Yo! Yo! Let's go! Let's go! I actually did it. You know what? Just because of that, that's the best level in 2024. That's the best level. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hell yeah. And that's it. Now, keep in mind, yes, there are a ton of other levels this year that are definitely in that conversation, and I also didn't touch on platformer levels at all. But if I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I don't think that I've seen a platformer yet that can be put in that conversation. Classic levels are the bread and butter of GD, and we've had so many years to build, evolve, and refine these projects to make them the best of the best. So one day, I'm sure we'll be seeing these levels be compared head to head, but for now, I think classic levels take it pretty cleanly. But that's gonna be all for me. If you guys enjoyed the video, then please remember to subscribe. I promise you won't regret it. But I'll see you guys next time. Stay real and peace out, guys.